After the unsurprising reality TV show that was the recent presidential debate, I thought it might be high time to talk about this election, both national, state, and local, and how it will impact our Kansas City real estate market. So, hey there, my name is Jana Jeffery, and I'm a real estate broker in Kansas and Missouri, servicing the Kansas City metro area, and I have opinions. Just a couple, really. Are you ready? Buckle up. Here's my take on what the 2024 election means for Kansas City's real estate market. The upcoming election cycle is set to significantly impact real estate sales with some clear and controversial outcomes on the horizon, with both presidential candidates being polarizing and, well, ready for retirement. The national focus may overshadow but not diminish the critical influence of local elections on the housing market. Local candidates and races will likely have a much more significant impact on the housing market through regulatory changes, unemployment factors, and local economic opportunities and challenges. So let's dig in, shall we? Market uncertainty. So consumer confidence. As we edge closer to Election Day, expect a palpable tension among buyers and sellers. The uncertainty surrounding potential progressive or conservative changes in leadership and policy at the national level will create hesitancy, potentially simply stalling transactions. This environment is ripe for dramatic market shifts where confidence, or lack thereof, will play a pivotal role in shaping market activity. So let's talk about interest rates. The Federal Reserve and their looming threat of interest rate hikes is a hot topic. In an election year, the Fed's actions are under intense scrutiny. Any move to raise rates further could cool the housing market even more significantly. However, a conscientious administration might advocate for policies that keep rates low, promoting affordability and encouraging homeownership, especially among first-time buyers and middle-income families. What about stock market volatility? Investment behavior is going to have a direct impact based on this election. The election's impact on the stock market will be pretty profound. Historical patterns show increased volatility during election years, and this one's not likely to be any exception. Sharp swings in the stock market will influence consumer wealth and confidence, directly affecting their ability to invest in real estate. This volatility will be a critical factor, making the market unpredictable and ripe for strategic maneuvering. What about housing policies? With polarizing candidates proposing vastly different housing policies, if any, the election outcome will either boost or hinder the market. Initiatives aimed at increasing affordable housing, expanding homeownership opportunities, and providing tax incentives for home improvements could lead to a post-election surge in sales. Conversely, policies perceived as restrictive or economically damaging might stifle that growth. Which leads me to consumer sentiment. So the charged political atmosphere will polarize consumer sentiment. It already has. An election result perceived as positive for economic growth and social equity could unlock a wave of market activity, while a contentious or divisive outcome might lead to widespread caution and a slowdown in transactions. The election's influence on consumer sentiment cannot be overstated, as it will set the tone for the market behavior. But let's take a look locally here. So local impacts in our market. The election's impact will be felt unevenly across regions, with local candidates and races playing a critical role. Urban centers with diverse economies and progressive political leanings might be more resilient, while areas heavily dependent on conservative policies might experience heightened sensitivity to political changes. Local regulatory changes, socioeconomic factors, and economic opportunities will significantly influence housing markets. Cities and states with strong local leadership focused on affordable housing, economic development, and social equity will likely see much more robust housing markets. So when we look at the long term, I think one of the big expectations we have to walk into this with is really around consumer sentiment. The upcoming election will significantly shape consumer sentiment and local regulations impacting the housing market. A conscientious candidate advocating for social equity and sustainability could boost consumer confidence, leading to increased market activity and a positive housing outlook. Local governments that prioritize affordable housing, favorable zoning laws, and sustainable development are frankly likely to see heightened demand and market growth. Conversely, areas with restrictive policies may experience stagnation and cautious consumer sentiment in Kansas City, leading to slower market activity. Buyers and investors will closely watch government actions with proactive local policies driving positive trends. Ultimately, while the national outcome does matter, it really does, local regulations and consumer confidence will be key determinants of the housing market's future here in Kansas City. So let's talk about kind of what our strategic responses might look like. Buyers will navigate this turbulent period by locking in mortgage rates ahead of potential hikes or waiting strategically for post-election market corrections. Progressive policies aimed at improving affordability and accessibility could make homeownership more attainable for many. So pay attention to who you are bringing into your local seats, as it's going to be very, very important going forward. Housing is going to be a very critical component of the next 5 to 10 years for a variety of reasons. For sellers need to act decisively and potentially accelerating listings to capitalize on pre-election demand or waiting for post-election clarity. I'd expect aggressive pricing strategies and competitive marketing as sellers vie for a limited pool of buyers in an uncertain environment. And that's certainly how I'm talking to all of my clients, my seller clients, around how we price and move for strategic sale prior to or post-election. Now, investors really need to pay attention. Real estate investors are going to need to particularly be astute, shifting focus to stable or undervalued markets and anticipating incoming policy changes. Kansas City, Missouri. Progressive policies promoting affordable housing and green initiatives could open new investment opportunities, making 2024 a pivotal year for investment decisions. And I meant pivotal, so there you go. I'm not editing this. Your local candidate races will be the most impactful to pay attention to, so please do. In my opinion, while the 2024 presidential election will undoubtedly influence the real estate market, our local elections and candidates are going to play an even more critical role. This period of uncertainty and potential upheaval will force all market participants to rethink their strategies and brace for significant changes. Whether this leads to a boom or a bust will depend heavily on the election outcomes and the subsequent economic policies implemented. So buckle up, because the real estate market is in for a transformative ride. If you'd like to obtain a list of candidates running for state and local government political office in the Kansas City regional area in both Kansas and Missouri, please feel free to email us at info@royalfoxkc.com and we'll get you that list. Just a word of caution, this content is the opinion of myself, Jana Jeffery, and I'm a residential and commercial real estate broker, and I'm the managing broker of Real Broker LLC in Kansas and Missouri. This is in no way a reflection of the beliefs or opinions of Real Broker, its agents, affiliated businesses, leaders, haters, closeted lovers, you know who you are, or any of the authors' affiliated companies. Professional partners, vendors, clients, friends, family, pets, or subsequent infestations. It's simply my well-educated, mostly independent, somewhat liberal-leaning opinion. So don't come at me, okay? Okay, thanks, love you, bye.